Hi, everybody. It's Kathy. I apologize for the lighting. I was going to do this from my computer and I can't figure out how to switch my camera and on my computer. So I've had to do this one on my phone and I wanted to not be late. So I apologize for the lighting. I know that I'm in a shadow. I don't know if I can change that there. That might be a bit better. Anyway, thank you for joining me today. And if you wouldn't mind, can you guys just pop in and let me know that you're here? And what I wanted to talk to you about today is motivation and energy, especially in a time like COVID-19. And so, have you ever heard anyone say to you, I'm not motivated, or I just have no energy? Well, if you're like me, not only have you heard it, you've probably said both of those statements tons of times throughout your life. And so I thought, well, how do I start? So I thought I'd start with giving a definition for each word. So the word for energy, the definition, pardon me, for energy is the strength and vitality required for sustained physical or mental activity. And the definition for motivation is the reason or reasons one has for acting or behaving in a particular way, the general desire or willingness of someone to do something. And so I got an interesting question in my group the other day, and they said, how do I keep up my energy and my motivation? And I gave a lot of thought to that question, and I realized, well, does motivation last? No, it doesn't. All you have to do to prove that to yourself is get a gym membership. And so how do you keep yourself encouraged? And I think that that's a better word, especially for people who are maybe extroverts and struggling with staying at home. I am an extreme extrovert. I get all of my energy from people. And so being at home safe, not stuck, being at home safe has been somewhat of a challenge for me. My husband, who happens to be an introvert, is not challenged by this at all. He actually loves it. And so in this time of social distancing, when we're asked to stay at home, it's even easier to lose your energy and, if you want to use that word, motivation or encouragement, isn't it? And so I want to invite dialogue here, and the question I'm asking all of you is, what do you do to encourage yourself and others during this time on a daily basis? And please go ahead and post in your ideas and your suggestions right into the comments. I'm going to keep pushing through, and at one point I'm going to just take a second and stop and look and see the feedback. But this is important. It's important. It's important for me and it's important for you. And I really want to get this out. So as I was thinking about doing this Facebook Live, I thought about the tools that I have in my toolbox that I use. And I want to share a couple of those with you now, just to encourage you. So one of the first ones that is a constant go-to for me is music. Music always picks up my spirits. It also helps me to get to a place where I can close out noise and just reflect on who I am, what my life looks like today, and what I want my life to look like in the future. Music also helps me get in touch with the spiritual side of me, my relationship to God, whatever that may look like to you. It may be source, it may be other, it may be God. However you connect to the spiritual side of you, music is one way that you can do it. The second way that I do is I encourage myself is through prayer or meditation. So one of the ways that I find peace during troubling times is through this method. So how do you do that if you do? Some folks journal. Others sit quietly in a restful place, close their eyes, and let their thoughts find places of peace. Others do yoga. Some practice deep breathing, and others read. For me, I will sit in my favorite spot on the couch, and everyone in my family knows not to sit there. It's my spot. And I close my eyes, I put on some quiet music, and as my thoughts come to me, I just give them to God. I don't judge. And if I'm feeling stressed in that moment, I remind myself that I'm in a place of peace and that I'm not alone. And you're not alone. None of us are alone. I also focus on my breathing to make sure that I'm taking deep, slow breaths in and out. And with that deep breathing, it brings me to a place of calm. The third way that I want to share with you is that I encourage others a lot. I have been spending a lot of time on social media. You guys, if you're friends with me on Facebook, you're going to see that. I'll share funny memes. I'll share encouraging memes. I'll share comments. I'll share observations and thoughts as I'm going through them. I've been messaging people who come to mind just to let them know that I'm thinking of them. I am reaching out beyond my home to make sure that I have connection. And this is so key. This is so critical, especially if you're an introvert. I had a conversation on Facebook with a good friend today, and she said, I'm an introvert, so this isn't usually something that bothers me. And you know what? That's great. Her and I are really, really good friends, and we're really, really good friends because we're complete opposites. She's an extrovert, or she's an introvert, I'm an extrovert. And so I'm just going to take a quick sec. Take a look at some of your comments. Liz, thank you. She said, my husband has been focusing a lot on his breathing and meditation techniques since his concussion a year and a half ago, and it's helped him a lot. That's amazing. Liz also said, I do my daily lives and offer positivity and inspiration for those who join me. And this is Liz Perez. You guys, if you're not friends with her, make sure you friend her and watch her lives. They're incredible. She said that she also prays. That's important to her, super important. And she writes a lot, and she shares most of what she writes on social media. And Deborah, thank you. She says she sets a schedule for herself throughout the day, keeping her focused. And so, you know what? Find out what works for you and then put that in. And somebody was sharing with me the other day that it takes 66 days to create a habit. So schedule it in. Relax, focus, encourage myself. Schedule it in so that every day, as a part of your calendar, you are encouraging yourself. I deliberately wanted to keep this short today. And I have something that I want to send to you guys, and it's called a kindness bingo game. And if you want to get a copy of it, just put your name and your email into the chat box, and I'll make sure I email you a copy of it today. But it's little things that you can do every day, not just to encourage yourself, but also to look outside of your home and who can you encourage, your neighbor or a friend or something like that. And so if you want that, just put your name and email address into the box, and I will make sure that I get that sent out to you today. And I just really, really, really want to thank all of you who jumped on today. You have so encouraged me. This is stepping completely out of my comfort zone, and this was my very first Facebook Live, and it means a lot that you guys were with me. So thank you. Have a phenomenal day. Does anybody have any questions that they want to ask me? Type it in real quick. If not, type it in and I will, or send me an email. My email is my name, Kathy Toupin, Kathy with a C, TOUPIN @gmail.com, or send me a message on Facebook. That's even better, and I will be happy to answer your questions. Love you guys. Thank you for your encouragement. Thank you for your love. Have a phenomenal day. Bye-bye.